This YCN segment is brought to you by New London Hospital, an affiliate of Dartmouth Hitchcock.
Welcome back, YCN Sports Talk. Jeremy Stout, Andrew Zerhide, and we move over to the gridiron. Patriots on the road, game number 2, and a tough one down in Jacksonville, a rematch of the AFC Championship game. And Andrew, they looked bad from the beginning. The missed field goal started it off, and their defense didn't recover, didn't play well. They looked like maybe in that second half they had a chance when they scored a touchdown, but then they gave another one right back up after the fumble recovery. And that defense, we'll get to that in a little bit, but just as a whole, obviously a disappointing loss. But you got to remember, we were just talking, Blake Bortles, he's good, but he's not that good.
Right, yeah, I think I expected the Patriots offense to maybe struggle a little bit. Jaguars have a good defense, really good secondary. I thought maybe they'd run the ball more, but really the Patriots defense just got torn apart. I mean, the secondary, the cornerbacks, the safeties, some of the linebackers, they couldn't cover anyone. I think the Patriots, they really tried to stop the run, which meant they had to play man-to-man, and they just couldn't do it.
Yeah, they couldn't cover
they couldn't cover anyone. I think Gilmore had a pretty good game, but he was, they were passing to his guy all the time. I mean, just that secondary, Blake Bortles was able to pick up first down after first down. It was just, really pathetic. It was just really bad defensive effort.
And I don't know if the Florida sun got to them or what it was, but it was a hot game. But here's the thing. This always seems to happen at the beginning of the season. The Patriots throw up one stinker, whether it's Kansas City last year to open the season, Cincinnati or the Kansas City Chiefs 2 years ago when they said we're on to Cincinnati. This game, is it something where Belichick, he'll figure it out, and the Jaguars were a good team? This wasn't like they lost like this to the Cleveland Browns. I mean, the Jaguars are a good team.
Yes,
so,
they are.
Panic meter, nothing to worry about, or is it a little bit worrisome just how bad they played?
I think, like you said, that this was a rematch of the AFC Championship game. I think the Jaguars, they were so bad for so long, so I think it feels worse than probably it is.
Right.
I think it could be another rematch in the AFC Championship game. I think the Jags are really that good. Their defense is that good. But I think, at the beginning of the game, Trey Flowers went out, Patrick Chung went out, a couple of big defensive pieces, so you can't forget that. I do think, like you said, at the beginning of the year, the defense has struggled. They've given up a ton of points. Belichick is going to figure things out. They'll maybe bring some other guys in. I don't know what they're going to do, but they'll solidify some things. Obviously, Matt Patricia isn't there anymore, so the defense working through some things. I think as the weeks go, they will get better. Hopefully they get healthy because Trey Flowers, that's a big piece of that defense.
That's a big piece, the health, and obviously they'll get Julian Edelman back in a couple of weeks, so that's a big piece of the offense. Another big piece for the offense, Josh Gordon, a big trade or a semi-big trade, whatever you want to call it. They give up the 5th-round pick. If he's not active for 10 games, they get a 7th-rounder back, so they got some insurance. What are your feelings on this trade? I've heard a lot of mixed emotions. Some people love it, some people hate it. What do you think about this trade? Will he make an impact?
I just think it's kind of a low-risk situation for the Pats. They didn't really give up that much. And like you said, if he doesn't play 10 games, they get a 7th-rounder back. So if he doesn't play 10 games, it goes from a 5th-round pick to a 7th-round pick, and you're taking a chance on really an all-star receiver, right? And really a lot of people, you think back, Randy Moss. Some people are thinking about that acquisition, right? That was one of the best pieces to add to an offense in the history of the game.
Yeah, that was big.
If Josh Gordon can really sync with Tom Brady and can be that deep passing threat, and if they can mesh well together, that's going to be a huge piece. Obviously, without Edelman, it's kind of the wide receiver core has been very thin. And I've maybe even heard some rumors the Patriots might be still going after a guy like Dez Bryant. Right? And like with Randy Moss, they added Randy Moss and Wes Welker, and both of those two guys were huge receivers for years. So, they could be adding a few pieces here, a couple more pieces, just besides Josh Gordon. This offense coming into this next week, it could be big. I don't know with his hamstring if Josh Gordon will play in this next week. But it's really, I think it's a big pickup for the Pats.
Yeah, I think it's a big pickup, but I'm just trying to be, calm about it and not get too excited because this is a tough offense to learn. He's not just going to come in and run a fly pattern and just go down the field. And also because he's had such a history of off-field, on-field, whatever you want to call it, and not to call the guy out because I understand if he's got a problem, medical problem, whatever. But the Cleveland Browns gave him a lot of support throughout 5 years, and he took none of it really, and he just kept, even when he played in week 1, remember, people are forgetting, he played in week 1. He showed up to the training facility on Saturday morning or Friday night or whatever, and he had a hamstring injury. He got injured doing a publicity, shoot or something. So it's not like this guy is all good and no trouble. So I think it's going to be interesting. I agree with you. It's low risk, but what's the reward? I guess we'll just wait and see, and that's the biggest thing. Absolutely. Let's not get too excited, but it is exciting if he can play some offense. Maybe he can play defense, because that would be a big help. They need some defense as well.
Yes, they do.
So we'll see how that unfolds. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll talk some more NFL. A couple surprising teams off to 2-0 starts and winless starts in the AFC. You're watching YCN Sports Talk.